It's now. We're here.
Sorry, I got sidetracked. There's this new feature on the chat, and Pops is the #1 fan. I don't know what this feature is, but I
Oh,
like that
hey.
there's a leaderboard here. So hopefully we get some people to maybe knock you off the peg here, which would be good for
Gonna
us.
take a while. Yeah,
We
but
knocked
yeah.
Sam off the peg here, so that's fun. Sam's no longer here.
Oh man. Already.
So
Oh. Well, okay. Well, he's making his way back in. That's all right. How's it going, Tyler?
good, good. Good 4th of July. How was your guys' 4th of July?
Yeah.
Twas
Fireworks
great.
going off. Yeah. Fireworks going off all hours of the night. You know how it goes. Wake up in the morning of the 5th and got to see all the cardboard remains all over the car outside. So the neighbors had fun at my expense, so that's fun for me. Love that.
Wait, you think
Uh,
you're obligated to sleep on July 4th?
yeah, I know. I'm a selfish prick. I know. Anyway. All right. Let's see. Other things. I don't know. This is the show. This is SVT Sports Pod. I guess we should introduce the show. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm Vince. Yeah. Tyler's over there, wearing a Sharks jersey. If you're on YouTube, follows there. Hit the bell for alerts if you're not already. For when we go live. By the way,
There's a
Sam, how's it
button.
going?
There's a button.
I'm
You gotta
doing
press
really
that
well.
button. Also,
Yeah.
too, so that you know when we go live.
That's right. Yeah.
And if you haven't already subscribed, man, like that really is what helps the channel is subscription. So like, subscribe. It's the least you can do. It's free.
All the magic
Subscribe.
buttons,
Help us
all
out.
of them. That's
Unless you
right.
wanted to donate money, then it won't be free. But we're not gonna say no.
Anyway,
I have a jar of money on top of my refrigerator.
I would
I'd like to put more money in that jar. That's where you come in.
that's right.
Speaking of money, we're gonna get into our first topic of debate here. Basketball free agency is happening, boys, and
That's right.
it looks like someone got paid. I think a few people got paid.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander gets the richest average annual value deal in NBA history. It's a 4-year, $285 million supermax. So congratulations, you get the MVP, you win a chip, you get the Finals MVP too, and you get a pretty penny to do it too. So congrats to him. Obviously, they're breaking off a chunk of change for him, and well deserved, I think, at this point. Who's gonna argue with that at this point, right? I don't know if there's any debate like with that. I mean, yeah.
I
Pay
mean,
the
we
man,
knew he
right?
was
And
going
they
to
paid
get
him.
paid. It was just a matter of how much, right? So,
Right, exactly. And they
season
decided,
MVP,
yeah,
finals MVP,
reset
well
the market.
deserved.
Yeah, exactly. Miles Turner's going. He just lost in the finals. He goes to Milwaukee, 4 years, 107 million. Paolo Banchero, 5-year rookie extension, just came in earlier today. Actually, 239 million. Is that right? Oh
That
my
is
gosh!
right, and it could get up to 287 with the incentives.
Jesus,
Sweet loot. Oh my goodness. Damian Lillard.
it's all fantasy money at this point.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
Like,
they're
not even
they're just
real.
numbers on a calculator at this point. Yeah, for real. Damian Lillard got waived by Milwaukee to make room for Miles Turner's contract, and they're going to stretch his remaining salary over 5 seasons. Denver is acquiring Jonas Valanciunas from Sacramento for Dario Saric.
That was drama filled. So Jonas Valanciunas' agent was under the impression that the Denver Nuggets were going to just release him amongst the trade, and that his agent had already agreed with a Eastern European basketball club that Jonas was going to go play for them. And Denver said, "Well, we didn't know about that one, so we're not going to let him go. We need a backup center." So now it's a drama-filled situation between: are they going to keep Jonas? Are they going to let go of Jonas? Is he going to play for Denver? Is he not going to play for Denver? It's a whole thing now.
Yeah, so they still got to sort that out. So the Kevin Durant deal is officially completed, and it took a record 7 teams to make it official. So Shams has he had it first, I believe, and is the entire breakdown. So here's what Phoenix gets: Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, uh, Common Malach, is that Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Brea, Daquan Plowden and the second. Houston gets Kevin Durant and Clint Capella. Brooklyn gets 2 seconds. The Warriors get Alex Tui and Jameer Mashak. Atlanta gets a second round swap and Devin Roddy and Cash. The Lakers get Adu Tierro, and Minnesota gets Rocco Zakarski, 2 seconds and a cash and cash. So like a lot of names I don't really know how to say because I haven't heard of half of these guys, but some of them I have heard of. Just like, a lot of like lower end guys to make the money work, I think, and just like getting 7 teams involved just to make basically Kevin Durant to Houston work out. Oh man,
I think this is going to be the norm, though. I mean, this is what the commissioner wanted. When you make a complicated second apron, max salary cap, luxury tax, all this stuff, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get trades and people go, what happened to the days of just trading a guy for, another guy or cash consideration? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to have a trigonometry and like a calculus degree to like break it down, man. At this point, almost
it's crazy.
It's psychotic almost at this point. It's wild, pure. Yeah. Anyway, so there's your Kevin Durant breakdown. It's finished. What else is finished? The New York Knicks head coaching search. It's not Don Staley. It ends up being Mike Brown. He's going to be the new head coach. Good luck, man. The Dolans are notorious idiots. So hopefully he doesn't get shafted,
Can't be any worse when he was in with the Nets. So, hey, man.
He's been everywhere.
Cleveland.
Yeah, he's had some rough luck. Like, he's had some bad luck with ownership,
Well, the Sacramento thing, he never should have been fired from Sacramento.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
yeah, Sacramento, that guy, like, he was able to get that building built, but other than that, he's been an idiot. I mean,
yeah.
God. Anyway, the Pacers did confirm actually earlier today, I believe, that Tyrese Halliburton is going to miss all of next season, recovering from the Achilles tear sustained in the NBA Finals. That's unfortunate, but unexpected. I mean, that is expected. Unfortunate. Yeah, it's an Achilles, man. They take forever to heal. And
unfortunately,
who knows how he's gonna look when he comes back as well.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's on his side is that he's younger than, let's say, Klay Thompson is our example, right? Younger than a Kobe Bryant is our example. So, can he rebound back? I don't know if he'll ever be the exact same player, but he probably has a better chance than some of the other guys I mentioned as our examples here, unfortunately. But
yeah. Okay, and then another trade that came in today, Miami get Norman Powell from the Clippers in a 3-team trade. Utah is sending John Collins to the Clippers. Utah is getting Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and the Clippers 2027 second-round pick. Okay, so there is your free agent update. And what's that? I think Tyler wants to play a game.
I do. We're going to play a game called Fire or Smoke. You boys tell me. And Vince, I'm going to let you go first. Sam, I'm going to let you go second just to keep things in order here. I'm just going to rattle out 4 things. Be quick here about this one. You just tell me if it's smoke or fire and give me a reason why. All right, we're going to fire this off. Al Horford will be a Warrior.
Smoke, because I don't think the Warriors have any room to make the money work right now.
It could sign to a vet minimum. So before I continue,
I don't know. I think other teams will be able to give a little more than a vet minimum, and I think that's how it ends up. If the Warriors can only offer vet minimum, then other teams will just swoop in and offer slightly more, and then there you go.
Sure. What you got,
That's
Sam?
why. That yeah.
I'm gonna say smoke, but mostly because I'm not sure if I want that to happen. Like it just really doesn't excite me to the point where like I think that puts the Warriors in seeds 1 through 4, 1 through 5, let's say. Um I think if they do make the deal, I guess that's a good signing because you need somebody. But it just doesn't really get me all that excited, to be honest.
Well, unfortunately, the Lakers were in contention. Now that they've signed DeAndre Ayton, it sounds like they probably are out of contention. It sounds like the Denver Nuggets, should the Jonas Valanciunas thing fall apart, they may start making phone calls to Al Horford. But as it stands, Al Horford is in between being a Warrior or retirement. And that sucks if you're a Warriors fan.
Okay.
Next one here. Bradley Beal will be a Warrior. Sam, you go first on this one.
I'm going to say that's smoke. I think the odds of that happening is a lot higher than Al Horford because if he does get bought out, I think the Warriors would be desperate enough to get him into the building because you just need something. You need someone like to, and I think they would be desperate enough to see if that would work. And then I would think the Warriors would say, we got Jimmy Butler, we got Draymond. I think we can motivate this guy to not be a sack of potatoes that he's been in Phoenix. So I think that one definitely has legs. That one has some serious smoke, I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the buyout is almost certainly going to happen. I think at this point, like that's the writing is on the wall there too. I think so. Like that's going to happen. I think, and now it's just a question of where does he go after the fact. Yeah. So if the Warriors figure out the Kuminga situation, then maybe that's the path forward to make Bradley Beal happen. So I guess I'll go fire on that. I think that's how you make that happen. Is
Next
solving
one,
the Kuminga situation there. Okay.
Next one here. It's funny you say that. Kuminga will be traded.
Fire.
Fire. Yeah, fire. I think that's happening. Yeah. I think Kuminga, they're going to get something for him. So yeah, fire. Okay.
So the teams in contention are the Nets, Miami, and Sacramento. Sacramento's the biggest one, but it sounds like they are very far off from a deal that interests the Warriors in any way, shape, or form. Last one for you guys.
Okay.
Damian Lillard will be a Warrior.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go smoke on that one. At least, definitely not for this coming season. It won't happen this year because he's recovering from an Achilles tear, so he's not gonna play for anybody this year. Let's see how his rehab is going, and then maybe revisit the question in a year from now. How's that?
It's great.
Yeah. I'm going to say smoke. Similar reasons to Vince, but I think if you try to sign him now, you're probably trying to sign him to like a 2-year deal. That way you're guaranteed that you get 1 year next year. And then, if it's going well, you got 2 years of seeing his rehab, right? And you kind of know where he's at. That's too much of an uncertainty for me to like put that into fire. It would be sweet if he did come over to Golden State and in that second year he balls out, just for the hometown being that he grew up a Warriors fan. That would be great, but that is nothing but smoke, man. I don't think that's going to happen. You need a player right now, not next year.
I agree. Running down the line, Al Horford will be a Warrior. I actually think that there's fire with that one. In my opinion, I think he will be. Warriors need a center. You lost Looney. You lost our little big man in GP2. Your centers are basically Trace, who got 0 play time this year, considered to the year previously, and Quentin Post, who, while he's looked great in flashes, didn't get a single minute in the playoffs because of his size, as far as bulk wise. So I think there's a lot of fire to that. Bradley Beal being a Warrior, I think absolutely not. I think what he's going to demand for just doesn't make any sense. I think the Clippers are more likely to do that than anybody else. Dame being a Warrior, gosh, I really don't like the idea of it because he's coming off of that injury. But I will say that if you could get him on a 2-year and backload that contract, so the first year you don't really pay anything while he's just rehabbing, and then the second year you pay, I might be a little bit more interested, because maybe that time in the second year you've already moved off of Kuminga and maybe some other contracts at that point in time. Who knows?
Milwaukee's basically paying him anyway. You just vet min him,
right?
You can vet min him for whatever anyway, basically.
Yeah. Kuminga being traded, man. If Sacramento can get closer, Malik Monk doesn't get it over the finish line for me. That's what I'm hearing is the finish line, and that's not going to happen. But it would be really funny to see Sabonis and Draymond Green on the same team, just for the standpoint of the amount of drama that's going to probably ensue just from that being happening. But I'm going to go fire on Kuminga, smoke on Dame, smoke on Bradley, and fire on Al on my opinion here. And that is the game of smoke and fire.
Okay, hey, guess what, guys? I want to play a game. Oh! Okay, so this is actually also Warriors related. I've got a couple of scenarios here, a couple of what ifs, all right? And these are things that did not happen, but wish would have happened. And it was actually something I saw on Instagram, and it's just one of those, what do you want to have happened? It's like, here are your options. What do you want to have happened? The Warriors win in 2016. The Warriors hit on that on that number 2 pick in 2020. Steph wins the 2015 Finals MVP, or Klay Thompson never gets injured. If those are all pills that you take, which pill are you taking?
Honestly, as much as I would not want Klay to be hurt, because I feel like there's just so much that got robbed from him. I think the Warriors winning that championship and Draymond not getting suspended. We're talking 5 rings. You know what I'm saying? With the same players.
Are you sure? Are you sure though? Because if we win in 2016, KD doesn't come here?
That's the what if scenario. Maybe he still does.
That's part of the what if. I think it's an interesting discussion. Do we win in 2017? Does OKC come back and like what happens there with OKC?
Yeah, but I think the scenario
does KD go back there? Does he go somewhere else?
I still think they go to Hamptons and convince him, no matter what. I think that was always going to happen. It just.
I mean, he's. I seem to remember him saying, like, on the record, if the Warriors had won that championship, he wasn't going to sign with us. I remember hearing him saying that.
I agree, but who knows what the conversation was because they flew out there directly to convince him, right? I've never seen that happen, ever. Maybe LeBron convincing Bosch to come with them and be that third, Ringo Starr member, but it was kind of. It's nothing I've ever really seen before. I've never seen a whole team fly out to go convince a guy.
Okay. Sam, what are you choosing? Again, it's the Warriors win in 2016, hitting on that number 2 pick in 2020, Steph winning the Finals MVP in 2015, or Klay Thompson doesn't get injured.
Well, I would have to go with Klay, man. Klay not getting hurt, because if Klay doesn't get hurt, you're not looking for another scorer or a defender. You have a two-way player.
Mm-hmm.
And that solved, like, especially on the perimeter, when he was healthy, he took out their best scoring option. And then you had Draymond taking out the scoring option on the inside. So I just think it makes the Warriors so much better when you had Klay as the scorer, the shooter, potentially when it was all said and done, the second best shooter only behind his teammate Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Right. To have those two guys, and then the defense.
Yeah.
Like the two-way play in today's game of basketball, I think right now, if Clay never got hurt and you still have Curry and that's healthy, you got Clay, Steph, and Draymond still healthy going in right now, and somehow you're still able to add Jimmy Butler. This team is with Klay Thompson, what he was. That's I don't know if it's a championship contender, but it's a team that's in the top 3 or 4. You're in the mix.
Yeah, I'm the more I thought about it, it comes down to just looking at the timeline for me. If the Warriors win in 2016, I'm under the belief that KD doesn't come. So 2017, 2018 don't happen, or if they do happen, and they happen very different ways. So you can't guarantee that happens the same way. So that changes everything there. So I'm not taking that. I'll live with the 2016 loss. Steph winning the 2015 MVP Finals MVP. I don't need that to happen. That's fine. So that leaves with me either the Warriors hitting on that 2020 second round pick, or Klay Thompson doesn't get injured, right? So we only have that number 2 pick because Klay Thompson got injured in the finals, and then we sucked the next year because Steph was in and out of the lineup the entire year, and the entire season was basically just lost, right?
Well, what were you going to hit on the draft, right? Because Anthony Edwards was always going to go number 1. That was you were never going to have him. But like LaMelo is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't even know what hitting on that means. Like does that mean that whoever you pick there is a perennial all-star and is still on the team, or do we
James Wiseman's available?
Yeah.
Well, so the pick would have been, if we could redo the pick, I think everyone, including Joe Lacob, who clearly this Wiseman was his pick, I think everyone would go back and choose Tyrese Halliburton as their pick.
I think so. At this point, yeah, I would agree with that. But yeah. So do the Warriors pick Tyrese Halliburton with the number 2 pick in 2020, or do we get Klay Thompson never getting injured? And for me, I think I lean towards Klay never getting injured because, as you were hinting at there, if Klay doesn't get injured in 2019, they may still win that title in 2019.
That's true.
Because he got injured in that final, right? So if they win that title in 2019, we're talking, 4 out of 5, right? Instead of 3 out of 4 or whatever it was, right? So we're talking 4 out of 5. Then we're talking, we do win it in 2022. There's those 2 years in between, right? 3 years in between even. So like we could win 1 or 2 of those in the middle there as well. So like we're talking 6 titles maybe in 8 years. Like that's Chicago Bulls numbers. Okay, that's Boston Celtics in the with Bill Russell type numbers. That's like that. Those are the kind of numbers we're talking about. 4 and 8 is great, but like we're talking greedy. We're talking really greedy type stuff that we could be looking at if Klay Thompson doesn't get injured. Like at least we'd be in the mix for it, as you had said. So 6 titles, definitely a possibility. Hell, maybe even 7. It's not out of the question that we like the Warriors are doing that. So that was just a fun little thing I saw on Instagram. I thought I'd bring over here. So thanks for the game, fellas. Let's switch gears now to the Valkyries. They actually are playing right now as we speak.
And the game's tied now. No, Atlanta's up now.
Atlanta is up 1 point right now. The third quarter is near the end. They are actually they're, as we say that, like this game is back and forth. It's a really close game. And the Valkyries are going back and forth with the Dream. They're up now as this game keeps changing back and forth. Just to talk about the Minnesota game on Saturday, that was kind of rough. That one was a little rough. It was not quite as fun to watch. They end up losing by 11. That was a little bit cosmetic. They out rebounded Minnesota by 3. But other than that, it was all Minnesota on every other statistic that matters. So yeah, that's I mean, Minnesota is a team that is content. Like they were in the championship game last year. They're vying for another championship this year. They're a very, very, very good team, and they were playing in their barn. So it makes sense that that was going to be a tough game. They ended up getting a pretty decisive W. Unfortunate. They are playing in Atlanta as we speak right now. It's a close game. I think Atlanta and Golden State Valkyries are a they're pretty close in terms
Kate
of
Martin's doing her best Steph Curry impersonation right now. She is nuclear right now, so it's great to watch.
Speaking of all-stars, Kayla Thornton is your Golden State Valkyries all-star. She was named to the team. The coaches got to vote, and they put her in. Well-deserved as well, by the way. That was a welcome sight. I was walking back from getting a haircut, and I saw the news, and I was like, hell yeah, put that in the chat. So that was pleasant. And we let's see, what else do we got? Upcoming games. They're playing at the Indiana Fever on Wednesday. That is a Wednesday morning game, 9 a.m. So that'll be an early one. And then on Saturday at noon tip-off, they're playing at Las Vegas. So that's a noon tip-off. So you got a couple of earlier games this week coming up. And hopefully they stay right above the right, stay above 500, stay in the playoff line, and then keep going from there. This is a good team. They're a good team, and they can make some noise here and be a pain in the ass for sure. So it's a lot of fun to watch.
For sure. I mean, it's we're still trying to get tickets to go to a game here, to be honest with you. So that might happen sooner rather than later on our end over here.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's move over to the pitch. Let's talk U.S. women's national team. They did finish their international break. They get the 3-0 win over Canada on July 2nd. Sam Coffey and Claire Hutton score in the first half, both coming off of set pieces from Rose Lavelle. Welcome back, Rose. Yasmin Ryan and Tara McCune score in. They combine for the third goal in the 89th minute. The next matches are set for October, but the opponents have yet to be announced. One more note on the women's side: Lily Johannes signs a 3-year deal with Lyon. She's transferring from Ajax, I believe, and she's going from the Netherlands to France to play with the big bully in England. So it's like she's leaving. To put it in baseball terms, she's signing with the Yankees is what's happened. Okay. That's what happened. So she's the hot new, the young commodity, the hot free agent. She's 18 years old also, so she's like gonna be able to be a brand new, adult, learning all the the skills and stuff in France, and trying to learn all the structures of like soccer and everything in France. And the support system there and everything is going to be completely. She's going to be so damn good, guys. Like I can't believe how, like, she's already a crazy good, talented player, and her going to Lyon is going to be so good for the U.S. women's national team. And oh my God, it's going to be so good. I just, I can't. I just wish she could have been playing stateside. I wish an NWSL team could have made the move for her, but it's probably better for her career to go to Lyon. So good for her. God damn it. Okay. Switching over to the men's side. The men ended up taking care of Guatemala 2-1. Pride of Sunnyvale, Diego Luna scores twice in 15 minutes. We talked about it last week. Did he just get a lucky break, or was the seal broken? Turns out the seal was broken, man. 2 goals, right?
Yeah.
So he's climbing up the depth chart. He's at this point, unless something really bad happens, I think he's locked in a spot on the World Cup team with his performance in this tournament.
I always thought he was going to make it, man. I mean,
yeah, he was like a 24, 25, 26 guy. Now he's pushing for maybe a starter. I think he's a borderline starter for when all these other big boys that missed come back. Like, I think some of those guys should be like wondering if they're actually going to be starters. Like, I think Diego Luna maybe pushed 1 or 2 of them out.
Right.
It's possible at this point. So that's good. Mexico ended up beating Honduras. So that meant USA versus Mexico on Sunday. So here's how that game went down. In the 4th minute, Chris Richards gets a goal. Sebastian Berhalter delivers a set piece. Richards delivers the aggressive header that hits off the crossbar, spins, bounces down, and goes in. Okay. Raul Jimenez for Mexico in the 27th minute. He roofs it from about 9 yards out. Slight deflection off of Tim Ream's shin, and we're tied. And then in the celly, he adds in the Diogo Jota jersey tribute for his former teammate at Wolverhampton after the goal. Very lovely little tribute. It was
if
nice
people
touch
don't
there.
know about this, unfortunately, he passed away in a horrific car accident with his brother not too long ago here. I think a couple weeks ago.
This past week. Yeah, actually, it was just last week. We didn't even.
Yeah.
In the 66th minute, 67th minute, Mexico. There was a handball in the box.
I didn't see it.
Should have been called.
Absolutely.
No. Should
Nobody
have been
saw
called.
it. Nobody saw it. It didn't happen.
But it was not called. They didn't even bother going to VAR for it.
Such BS, man.
It was the dude puts his hand directly on the ball and no call. Should have been a penalty for USA. But Pochettino implied post-match that the referee was maybe influenced by the heavily pro-Mexico crowd to not give that call, I think, maybe a little bit. 10 minutes later, Edson Alvarez gets the go-ahead and winning goal for Mexico. It was a set piece from the left side sent into the box. Vasquez puts the ball into the center of the box. Alvarez finishes with a header that was barely held onside by Freeman's leg. Also on the play, Chris Richards was blocked maybe by Montez from an offside position as well a little bit. Pochettino kind of argues that case as well a little bit.
Poch didn't hold back at all, by the way.
That one you can make the argument for and against a little bit. That one I'm a little less.
Well, the penalty that led to that free kick was BS too.
Yeah. The penalty was a little bit. I didn't love that penalty call as well. I mean, it was kind of a rough game for the referee. That the handball was truly egregious. That's one. If the U.S. converts on that penalty, then they're up 2-1. Even if everything else plays out the same, you're talking 2-2, and then you're going to extra time. Who knows what happens there? But as it stands, Mexico ends up getting the win 2-1. That's their 2nd consecutive and their 10th overall Gold Cup. So Gold Cup takeaways, something that we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. USA needed to get to at least the final to be able to make any case to have any hope whatsoever, right? So in that sense, mission accomplished, right? This was the the B-C team is what a lot of people
I'd say that's the other victory, right? If you're gonna pick at straws at victories here.
Right. Yeah. So like, I mean, when you look at the performance on the field, a lot of these games, the team was kind of uninspiring. Like they they held possession a lot against a lot of these lesser teams, but like, I mean, a lot of 1-goal games, a lot of 1-goal wins. You go to the penalties against Costa Rica. You should have probably won that one a little more handily, but you didn't. I mean, so the World Cup is less than a year away. It's just like kind of uninspiring for overall, I think. That being said, when you zoom out, when you see that the top tier talent was not there, you had 7 or 8 guys that, are almost certainly going to be on this team. They weren't there. And then you have guys that like Diego Luna, we talked about, Malik Tillman, Chris Richards, Alex Freeman, I think did well for himself as well in this tournament. Those guys are like pretty much locked up their spots on the World Cup team, I think. Possible starters as well, you know, so that's good for them as well. If they had, you know, found a way to actually win this thing, then Push could have turned around to those guys that missed and said, see, I could have done this without you guys. And that could have been a real, like, turn the culture around thing moment for him. But unfortunately,
it just feels like the Gold Cup is
it's
just a an evaluation of MLS talent every year.
That's what it feels like right now. And it's unfortunate because this is the last chance. This was the last soccer that matters for the men's side, you know, they're until the World Cup.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to qualify. They're hosting. They're automatically in. You know, you don't have to all these, you know, games that they're going to play, like in September, they got some more games that are coming up. Those games aren't going to actually matter. It's just a chance to like, you know, give some of the guys that are going to be competing for the 24th, 25th, 26th spots, you know, you're trying to fill out the back end of the roster and then see if some of the guys near the top end, you're trying to find who's going to mesh well best. You're trying to find out who's going to work well as a starting unit cohesively. And then who's going to be your, you know, your third goalie, you know, but that's the stuff you're trying to find out. Oh, the goalie, Freeze. I think he,
I think he took it.
I think he's the leader in the clubhouse. I don't think he took it. I think he took the lead. I think he could still lose the starting job, but I think he put himself in position to be the starter. Like he's there right now. I don't think he's done enough to like secure it, locked it in, but I think he's like definitely he did well for himself, I think, in this tournament. So
I just you know, no offense to Matt Turner, it's just I don't feel like he's the guy anymore. I don't
he's
feel
not
like
playing.
I know.
If he's not yeah, he's playing it like he's on a team in England, yeah, in the Premier, like wait, or did they get sent down to the
he's with
championship?
Tottenham, I believe now. He moved from a different
he got moved. He got moved to Tottenham. So if he ends up playing at Tottenham fairly regularly, then he might be able to take that the starting job back, you know? Because Tottenham, especially if Tottenham ends up being like,
I'm sorry, because people come down my road whenever I say the wrong thing. He went to Crystal Palace. I'm sorry,
he went to Crystal Palace. Okay. So I mean, Crystal Palace actually
champions
did pretty well for themselves last year, actually. So yeah, I mean, if Crystal Palace does fairly well for themselves again next year, this coming season, he could find himself, you know, being the starter again in the World Cup, but Freeze right now, I think, is the leader in the clubhouse. So there we go.
I just think Freeze and Zach Steffen. I know Zach's is probably a little bit more raw than the other two that we've named, but I don't know. I feel like I've seen the Matt Turner experiment happen, and I don't know if I'm ready to have us be dashed again in the World Cup just because of Matt Turner's inability to stop a ball. You know what I mean? In the biggest of moments.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely I'm more willing and ready and willing to give Freeze the opportunity, and he acquainted himself well in this tournament. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm ready to see him get the job. Let's move to Bay FC real quick. They haven't played any games, but there are a couple of news and notes here for them. They did hand out several contract extensions for some of their back end players. We have signed through the end of this year, Catherine Paulson, and then signed through 2027. You have Emmy Allen, who just got a call up to the under 23 national team. Jamie Shepard, Maddie Moreau, and Joelle Anderson also got contract extensions through 2027. So congrats to those ladies as well. Let's see who else we got. We got Caprice Didasco was named to the NWSL Best 11 for June. She played very well on the back line, so well deserved. One more note for the NWSL in general: they did release their competition calendar. They are adding 2 new teams in Denver and Boston, so they've announced that it will be a 30-match schedule played over 27 weeks. February 20th will be the Challenge Cup, which is traditionally been the team with the best record playing against the team that wins the playoffs. If those 2 teams are the same team, then it would just be a rematch of the championship game. Okay. So opening weekend will be March 13th through 15th. There will be a regular season break in June. That'll be your international window. Decision day will be October 30th through November 1st, and then the following 3 weeks will be the playoffs. So then you'll have the quarterfinals, the semis, and then the championship will be November 21st next season. So, busy. Adding in 2 teams, building in 4 more weeks of games, or 4 more games into a schedule that's already fairly compact. It gets real interesting. They are. I do notice 30-match schedule over 27 weeks. That's they are spreading it out a little bit more. They are starting the season a couple of weeks earlier. That Challenge Cup normally has been like just 1 week before the schedule starting. So making that Challenge Cup happen as like just another preseason game, like to kick off the preseason, for lack of a better term, I think I like that a lot better. As like sort of a welcome to the new league year.
Sure.
Sort of making it almost treating it like the Pro Bowl game, like not the Pro Bowl game, the Hall of Fame game is what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
the
okay.
NFL
I get
does.
you.
Like kind of like that, but making it the 2 teams that had the best record last year. Just sort of I kind of like that idea. Just get your 2 top teams playing right away to like draw everybody's attention to it, but also make sure that it's a game that nobody's like, at risk of anything. It's still super early in your training, schedule or whatnot. So I like that. Okay.
Right.
So there is, let's see, what else do we got? We have summer friendlies happening coming up. They're playing LAFC, Angel City FC. I almost went with the men's side team name there for a second. They also are playing on the 27th, the game. Oh, we're actually going to the game on the 27th. Yeah, they're giving away Hello Kitty bucket hats, man. So yeah, we're gonna go get a bucket hat. It's gonna be fun.
We're all gonna wear it together.
That's right. Get a picture.
The whole game.
We're all gonna wear one hat together.
That's right. We're all in this together. All right.
Just one hat, 3 heads.
That's right. Okay. Now from the grass to the ice, we are moving to hockey. Let's talk the Sharks.
I just need this season to start, man. I'm
Sharks
excited.
made some moves. Here we go. The Sharks extended William Eklund. He got a 3-year, $5.6 million per year contract. They signed John Klingberg to a 1-year, $4 million deal. The Sharks traded Thomas Bordelot for Shane Bowers. That's basically a depth at the Barracuda level move. Thomas Bordelot kind of fell out of favor with the Sharks coaching staff, I think, a little bit. He didn't really get much playing time with the Sharks. He spent most of his time with the Barracuda this past season. So they basically gave they put the they tendered him so that way they could kind of control and get a piece back for him, really is what happened. And that's what happened here. So it sounded like the New Jersey Devils had a similar situation with Shane Bowers. So they just kind of did a like for like, send forward for forward, little fresh fresh new life, whatever we're trying to say here. What else did they do? The Sharks signed Dmitry Orlov to a 2-year, $6.5 million per year contract. And then they also claimed defenseman Nick Leddy off waivers. He has 1 year left on his contract. So the Sharks are now officially above the salary cap floor. So we don't have to worry about that. They're spending enough money. So that's good. A couple of other moves that have happened across the league that we didn't cover before. Brent Burns is going to Colorado on a 1-year deal.
Boo.
Yeah. Mikael Granlund to Anaheim on a 3-year, $7 million per year deal. And Corey Perry going to the Kings for a 1-year, $3.5 million deal.
That's a Corey Perry move.
Yeah. Corey Perry. Well, if you're a Kings fan, maybe you like that move because he's been in the finals, 5 of the last 6 years. Maybe you don't like that move because he's lost it every time. I don't know. If you're a Kings fan, Daniel, you out there, bud? Let us know what you think of the move.
Daniel, you're catching stray bullets.
I guess that's basically that's all we got for hockey.
I heard that the Sharks are kind of have a plethora of defensive players, so there might be a potential of them moving on.
Yeah, they're kind of. There's about 11 guys right now in their defensive core, and probably room for only about 9 or so. Like if you include the guys that are like NHL ready but can be at the AHL level, bouncing back and forth. Guys like Sam Dickinson, especially if Dickinson is ready to go.
I do
that
want to
makes
see
things real interesting.
I do want to see Sam with the Barracudas this year. I would like to, if I can
start,
catch a game, just to see him, just see what we're working with here.
That being said, if he's ready to roll now, I don't want to stop him from being up here. Like, if he's ready to roll, man, like there's no time like the present to like let him learn. Like he's gonna learn so much more at the NHL level. Even if he's getting beat up here, I'd almost rather, as long as he's not losing his confidence, let him get beat up here at the NHL level instead of losing and at the AHL level. Learning. I don't know.
Mike Greer did an interview the other day and said basically, like, if any of the young guys are ready to take a job, they're not going to prevent them from taking a job. They're not going to prevent them from starting or getting onto the roster. But already, like, people are already saying, like, Sam Dickinson as a defenseman is probably the best defensive skater they have in the organization. So just by having him out there, like, as a skater, being able to like do what he does is like an upgrade to the team. So you really, hopefully he is ready to take this forward, because then, like, one of these veteran guys, there's talk of trading one of those defensemen, like Mario Ferraro. He's been kind of like the major guy that's been talked about as being traded.
He's got a pretty big contract. He's I don't know what his trade value is specifically, but like he's a pretty, I would think on a playoff type team, he'd be a fairly valuable depth defenseman, like probably like a good third pair defenseman kind of guy to have.
Absolutely. So hopefully, we're going to find out a lot more about the Sharks in the coming weeks. I definitely think there's going to be a trade of some kind, because I think they want to bring in another, what I was reading, they want to bring in another forward. So,
a middle six type guy, I think, probably. Yeah. If they can get it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm stoked. I think if this team could be somewhere around the 500 mark, that's kind of where I'm at, is like give or take a game or two, being like, you gotta be around 500 plus or minus, 5 games. If you're 500 or above, that's like you're way ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
Right.
But you got to be close to a 500 team. And I think with like with Askarov maybe starting, more games and hopefully being healthy. I think we forgot, they made a trade for another goaltender.
They did, yeah. Another
Yeah.
goalie
From the
That one slipped
Penguins.
through.
which it sounds like that's a project more than the other ones, but he was a Calder Cup winner, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, he's been around for a little while. I think he's like under 30, but he's more of a veteran guy. But I think the goaltenders are going to be a huge improvement from what we saw last year. I mean, that was some of the worst goaltending. like there was games where I'm like, put me in. I can't be any worse. So some stuff was pretty bad.
Alex, Alex Nedeljkovic. God, that's hard to say. Sorry, kid. I'll learn it eventually.
So I think just those two guys is going to be a huge upgrade. And, I just want them to be competitive around the 500 mark, see growth from the young guys, see some of last year's draft picks starting to, step up and contribute. And then it's next year where you're like, okay, let's really get some big time free agents in here. Let's figure out what's going on. But I think, William Eklund is going to take a step forward. Will Smith is going to take a step forward. And I think Macklin Celebrini, you're going to see huge exponential growth now that he has a full year under his belt. And I know there's a little bit of a concern about Misa. Is he going to, stay back in the league that he's in, or go to college, or try to go pro right away? I think you're hoping he could go pro right away because you want them goals.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he's going to go the college route, but I think you and I briefly talked about it. He's going to wipe the floor with these kids, and no offense to if your kid is going to go play Boston College, but this kid's he's an NHL ready player. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's going to be beneficial for him. I think I'd rather see him be in the Sharks system and learn and develop there. I just think in the college he's going to be so good that it's not going to do him any good, in all honesty.
No, I think he has to. Probably is a little too strong, but ideally he's with the Sharks and he's learning how to play with Celebrini and Will Smith and Eklund and Dickinson and all those guys now, because that's like the core. That's the core group.
I'm excited for the season as well, and we've been sounding the drum for a while. Now's the time to jump on the bandwagon. So if you haven't already, jump on now while they're bad, and then but the vibes are good. The team's bad, the vibes are good. That's kind of been the motto, right? And as like you said, 500 is aspirational. If they get there, awesome. I wouldn't quite expect that. I would expect them to probably be maybe like as long as they're if they're not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs until mid-March, if there's still a month left in the season and they're still hovering around within 10 points of the playoff line, then that's, I think, probably a success, and that shows a lot of improvement, right? So that's kind of what I want to see. I want to see improvement. We already saw them from 2 seasons ago to last season. Not as many blowouts. There were some, but they didn't get their asses kicked nearly as often.
Right.
So that was good. And they were just a lot more fun to watch, even though they were losing. So that's what we want to see. Now we want to see them turn some of those L's into W's, right? If everything goes perfectly according to plan, like goes better than according to plan, and they do somehow sneak into the playoffs, I am not going to be upset. Nobody is going to be disappointed. And then everybody gets to see what the tank looks like during playoff time. Everybody gets a little reminder of what it used to be like, before the pandemic. Because I think people have forgotten what San Jose can do when we got a winner here, and be a good reminder. So those days are coming. If they come this season, great. If they don't come this season, they are coming soon because
Yeah.
we can see it. We see the plan and it's starting to come together. So I'm really excited.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
I think there's just a couple more news here to wrap us up here for the old podcast here. Darren Waller decided that he does like playing football, and he has come out of retirement after New York has traded him to Miami. So that is happening, and
Yeah.
we almost didn't talk about this as well too, because it's one of our images on our podcast and or for the show this week, and your reigning champ, who has come out of the ban here, Joey Chestnut, has reclaimed his title as the purveyor of eating more hot dogs than I will ever eat in my entire life. What was the advantage here? I think it was like you said 40 dogs or something like that.
He 24 hot dog advantage over second place. He
That's
put down
insane.
70.5. Second place had 46.5.
That is absolutely insane. That's more hot dogs than I will ever want to ever eat in my life. I think I've probably eaten
Coward.
like maybe 65 hot dogs in my life.
I think on Friday I had like 3 dogs, and I was like, oh.
I was being very
Jesus.
scientific with my hot dogs, wasn't I? I was doing like a straight up science experiment, man. Like I had I had a couple of hot dogs, and like we did the and they were different hot dogs too. Like it was like we were doing a taste test. Oh, this one I didn't like the bun to dog to meat ratio. This one I like the snap on the other one, and blah 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 blah. Like I made it like a real thing. Like I was trying to justify eating crap. Is what I was really doing.
If it was based on what sold out first, Hebrew National won, followed by Nathan's.
Okay.
So if
I'm a big Hebrew National fan. I do like those. That might be my hot dog of choice, if I'm being honest with you, more than Nathan's. Just a little bit. I like Hebrews.
The one that I was surprised that finished dead last, where there was like essentially a whole pack left, was Ballpark. I was surprised that Ballpark finished dead last.
That being said, they were buried under one of the other ones, so nobody saw them at least at first. So that's at least part of it. Just to clarify. So if everybody was able to see all the labels all at once, I don't know if that affected or skewed the results. So I don't know if we can take too much into that. Just not being able to see the label at first. I just want to clarify. Full clarity, full scientific method. Just wanted to throw all variables out there. Just saying. Science.
All right, guys. Well,
Somebody's gonna fund the science. If it's not gonna be the government, it's gonna be me. God damn it.
Anything else for the show? You guys gonna tell me who you're picking first in fantasy, so I can not use that for my advantage. If it's running back, you can let me know.
I'm picking tight end Darren Waller. No.
There you go. All right, guys. As always, you guys are listening to the SVT podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. There's a little button down there. It says subscribe. Click on that, and it will alert you when we go live. Also, too, we're putting out episodes throughout the whole week. If you can't watch the live show on Mondays, make sure to follow us on Instagram and Threads at SVT
Hold
Sports
on,
Pod.
before we go. Just a quick update. It looks like the Valkyries are probably going to lose this game. They're down 7 with 22 seconds left, and the Atlanta Dream are at the free throw line. So I think this game is going to go down. And also FJF. Okay.
Always. I was going to say signs and DMs, but we'll just say FJF. That seems like a better way to end this way.
FJF.
Later, guys.